Hi, I'm Frank Turner. I'm here at the Orchard and I think that we should get to know each other. The question in my hometown is kind of a slightly complicated one actually, and I know. Anyway, basically I was raised in the south of England near a city called Winchester, but I also kind of got evicted from my house when I was 8 years old by my folks, and then moved around a lot, going to various different kind of boarding school type situations, and all I wanted to do was live in London, and then I lived in London for 25 years, and now I live in Essex on the east of England. My zodiac sign is dinosaur. I don't know, I don't really understand zodiac signs. That's not, I was born in December. The first album that I purchased was Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. I stumbled across the music of Iron Maiden because I saw a poster and I thought it was cool, and I told my mum and dad about it, and my dad bought me a copy of the album Killers. He had no idea what it was, and to this day my parents regard that as their kind of basic error in parenting, was getting me that record, because I just went ding. I have a few different favorite movies. I mean, I love a lot of Wes Anderson films, Seven Psychopaths, In Bruges, that Martin McDonagh. But I love a lot of kind of music films as well. There's a film called Instrument about Van Fugazi that kind of changed my life. And also The Last Waltz, which is a documentary about the band. When I was a kid, the bass player from White Zombie was called Shawnee Assault. And she was a good-looking woman, but she was also pretty much the only woman in an extreme music-heavy band at that point in music history. So, like everybody else my age when I was 13, I had a Shawnee Assault poster on my wall. My first job, I worked on farms because I grew up in the countryside, and I used to do this thing called thrifting, which is where you have a field of barley and you have to walk through and pull the oats out by hand. It was crazy. You'd spend from like dawn till dusk walking through these plowed fields of kind of waist-high barley crop, pulling out oats by hand, and you'd start seeing oats in your sleep and hallucinating. But the good news was you didn't have to do anything else. So I had my cassette Walkman on and I was listening to like Operation Ivy records forever. Had a really good time. Also, I seem to remember they paid me £2 an hour and I spent it all on records. It was great. I have so many pet peeves. Self-righteousness, intellectual brittleness, however you want to describe it, you know, people who travel through life and seem to think it sort of gives weight to their argument to just refuse to accept the possibility of they're being wrong or whatever. I think they're really, really important to consider that you might be wrong at all times in all things, including the answer to this question. I have so many current obsessions. I'm obsessed with the writings of Clive James. I'm currently obsessed with later period Soviet history, and musically I'm obsessed with a band called Nobro, who are a punk band from Canada that I am so in love with. Nirvana were huge for me as a kid. Bruce Springsteen has been huge for me as an adult. Loud and Wainwright III, Pedro the Lion, The Weekndans, Nina Simone, Regina Spektor. We'll be here all day, basically, if I keep doing this. The first song I ever wrote, kind of, I mean, basically, I taught myself to play guitar. I'd had piano lessons when I was a kid, and I sucked because I didn't care, and my piano teacher told me that I wasn't cut out to do music and I should do something else, and my whole life since then has been an attempt to refute Miss Tritton's judgment on my life. Anyway, I was teaching myself guitar, and I remember that I learned the song Knocking on Heaven's Door, and that song has a G and a D and an A minor, and I changed the A minor to an A major, which does kind of like harmonically recontextualize where you are quite a lot. Regardless, I changed that chord and I was like, I just wrote a song. My first tattoo was this one at the top here that says UKHC, and I got it done. I was 16, which isn't legal, and so I'll be slightly circumspect about who did it. I didn't know anyone who had any tattoos. I just really wanted one, and I was really, really knee-deep in the UKHC scene at the time, and I remember the shop was in Camden Town in North London, and I walked in, and there was this giant skinhead dude, tough as nails, getting a chest piece done. And as I walked in, he tapped out, as in he was covered in ink and blood and sweat. And I walked in, he was like, I can't take it anymore, I can't take it anymore. And just sort of like ran out the back, kind of crying and smoked a cigarette. I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be the worst thing ever. And then actually the top of your arm's easy. So it was totally fine.